They're the two most advanced private jets on Earth, and both claim to be the fastest, farthest, and most luxurious. The Gulfstream G700 and Bombardier Global 8000 are in an all-out battle for the crown of private aviation. Today, we're comparing every inch, range, speed, cabin, tech, and price to find out which jet truly rules the skies. Cabin. Let's start where it matters most, the space where you'll actually spend your time. The Gulfstream G700 doesn't mess around when it comes to cabin real estate. We're talking about 57 feet of pure luxury, stretching from nose to tail, with a width of 8 feet 2 inches and a height of 6 feet 3 inches. That's enough room to stand up straight unless you're playing professional basketball, and wide enough that you won't be bumping elbows with your fellow passengers. But here's where things get interesting. The Global 8000 takes a different approach. At 54 feet 9 inches long, it's slightly shorter than the G700, but Bombardier compensated with smart engineering. The width comes in at 8 feet, and the height matches the Gulfstream at 6 feet 3 inches. What the Global 8000 lacks in raw length, it makes up for in intelligent space utilization. The G700 can accommodate up to 19 passengers in its most dense configuration, though most owners opt for something closer to 10 to 13 passengers in a more comfortable layout. You get up to 5 separate living areas, including a dedicated crew rest area that keeps your pilots fresh for those ultra-long hauls. The windows are massive, 20 oval windows that are 28% larger than the previous generation, flooding the cabin with natural light. Meanwhile, the Global 8000 focuses on what Bombardier calls purposeful luxury. The cabin typically seats 8 to 19 passengers depending on configuration, but where it really shines is in the 4 distinct living spaces that can be customized to your exact needs. Want a full bedroom with a permanent bed? Done. Need a conference room that rivals your corner office? They've got you covered. Both aircraft feature state-of-the-art air management systems, but the G700's cabin altitude stays at just 4,100 feet when cruising at 45,000 feet. That's lower than Denver, which means less fatigue and better sleep quality. The Global 8000 counters with its own advanced system that maintains cabin altitude at just 4,500 feet. Stick around until the end to see which one of these jets holds a world record that might surprise you, and why one manufacturer had to completely redesign their wing to make their vision work. Cockpit. Now, let's talk about the nerve center of these flying palaces. The G700 cockpit represents Gulfstream's latest evolution in flight deck technology. The Symmetry flight deck features 10-inch touchscreen displays that control everything from flight management to cabin systems. The active control side sticks provide haptic feedback. You can actually feel what the aircraft is doing through the controls, which creates an incredibly intuitive flying experience. But here's what sets the G700 apart: the Enhanced Flight Vision System and Synthetic Vision Primary Flight Display. This isn't just about seeing better in bad weather, it's about seeing things that aren't even visible to the naked eye. The system can highlight runways, terrain, and obstacles in conditions where traditional visual flight would be impossible. The Global 8000 takes a different philosophical approach with its Vision Flight Deck. The system emphasizes simplicity and efficiency, with 4 large displays and intuitive touch controls. What's particularly impressive is the fly-by-wire flight controls. The Global 8000 is one of the first business jets to implement true fly-by-wire technology across all flight control surfaces. This means the aircraft is constantly making micro-adjustments to optimize performance, reduce pilot workload, and enhance safety. The flight envelope protection prevents pilots from inadvertently exceeding the aircraft's operating limits, which is particularly valuable during challenging weather conditions or emergency situations. Both cockpits feature synthetic vision technology, but the Global 8000 system goes a step further with what Bombardier calls Enhanced Vision System. This combines infrared imagery with synthetic vision to create an incredibly detailed picture of the world outside, even in complete darkness or heavy weather. Engine and performance. Here's where these two aircraft really start to separate themselves from the pack. The G700 is powered by two Rolls-Royce Pearl 700 engines, each producing 18,250 pounds of thrust. These aren't just powerful, they're incredibly efficient, incorporating advanced materials and design elements borrowed from Rolls-Royce's latest commercial aviation engines. The result? A maximum operating altitude of 51,000 feet and a maximum speed of Mach 0.925, which translates to roughly 710 miles per hour. But speed is just part of the equation. The G700's range is where it really flexes, 7,500 nautical miles. That's enough to fly from New York to Tokyo non-stop or London to Singapore without breaking a sweat. The Global 8000 counters with General Electric Passport engines, each delivering 18,920 pounds of thrust. That extra power translates into impressive performance numbers, a maximum operating altitude of 51,000 feet, matching the G700, but with a slightly higher maximum speed of Mach 0.94, roughly 720 miles per hour. Where the Global 8000 really shines is range. We're talking about 7,900 nautical miles. 400 more than the G700. This might not sound like much, but it opens up route possibilities that simply aren't available with other aircraft. Think Los Angeles to Sydney or New York to Hong Kong, all in a single hop. But let's talk about what these numbers mean in the real world. Both aircraft cruise comfortably at Mach 0.85 to 0.9, which puts them among the fastest civilian aircraft in the sky. At these speeds, you're covering roughly 10 miles per minute. Costs. Now, for the moment of truth, what does it actually cost to own one of these flying masterpieces? The G700 carries a list price of approximately $78 million. But here's the reality. Nobody pays list price. Depending on customization, completion center choices, and current market conditions, expect to invest somewhere between $75 million and $90 million for a fully equipped aircraft. The Global 8000 commands an even higher premium, with a list price starting around $82 million. With typical customizations and options, you're looking at a final price tag that can easily exceed $90 million and push toward $100 million for the most elaborate configurations. But let's be honest, if you're shopping in this category, the purchase price is just the beginning. Annual operating costs run approximately $4 million to $5 million per year for either aircraft, depending on utilization. That includes crew salaries, insurance, maintenance, hangar fees, and fuel. For those who prefer to charter rather than own, expect to pay between $12,000 and $15,000 per flight hour for a G700, while the Global 8000 commands slightly higher rates, typically $15,000 to $18,000 per hour. These rates can fluctuate significantly based on routing, seasonal demand, and availability. And here's that world record I promised. The Global 8000 currently holds the record for the longest flight ever completed by a purpose-built business jet, covering 8,238 nautical miles non-stop. That flight demonstrated capabilities that push the boundaries of what's possible in private aviation, proving that when engineering meets unlimited budgets, the results can be absolutely extraordinary. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the world of ultimate luxury, a like and a subscription would mean the world. And for those who dream of flying in style, click right here to watch our video on the top 5 private jets for transcontinental flights. See you in the skies.